Pelosi's remarks on Trump's racist comments ruled out of order after floor fight erupts. Escalating tensions on Capitol Hill erupted into a floor fight in the House of Representatives on Tuesday afternoon, as Speaker Nancy Pelosi spoke in favor of a resolution condemning racist comments by President Trump, and Pelosi's words were eventually ruled out of order, as House Majority Leader Steny, a Democrat, announced the decision from the House parliamentarian. The words used by the gentlewoman from California contained an accusation of racist behavior on the part of the president, said, in a decision that technically banned Pelosi from speaking on the House floor for a brief period of time. The words should not have to be used in debate. The Democrat-controlled House then voted along party lines not to strike Pelosi's words from the record, and voted separately to restore her speaking privileges. One Democrat in Congress had told Fox News, "We were going to defend our speaker." Kevin McCarthy has tweeted, "Breaking news greater than Speaker Pelosi just broke the rules of the House, and is no longer permitted to speak on the floor of the House for the rest of the day." He also said, "The facts are clear. The House rules of order and decency were broken by the very person tasked with upholding them, the Speaker of the House." But just now, Democrats voted to ignore the rules and give special treatment to one of their own. In a closed-door caucus meeting on Tuesday morning, Pelosi offered another strong defense of the freshmen who have been repeatedly targeted by Trump. "These are our sisters," Pelosi told the caucus, echoing earlier comments from Representative Bill Pascrell, D-N.J. in defense of the progressive freshmen, according to a person in the room. Pelosi added that Democrats were looking to get support from Republicans who have already condemned Trump's remarks. But GOP leaders worked their own caucus to make sure their members stand by Trump, offering a united message: Democrats are just playing politics. The resolution, they argued, was rushed to the floor without buy-in from the GOP, and Republicans took issue with the measure for labeling Trump's comments racist language, which they claim violates House decorum. The dramatic episode began when Pelosi's prepared remarks condemning Trump turned personal, and Georgia Republican Representative Doug Collins rose to challenge her and demand that her words be taken down. The extraordinary rebuke was the first of its kind involving a member of Congress and a Speaker of the House in decades. The scene then became even more bizarre when the chair, Representative Emanuel Cleaver, Demo, told representatives after a lengthy huddle that he was trying to make a fair ruling as to whether Pelosi had broken House rules governing decorum, but people weren't cooperating. He felt Pelosi was being singled out. Cleaver simply declared, "I abandoned the chair," and left, a moment with no apparent precedent in modern congressional history. North Carolina Representative G.K. Butterfield, also a Democrat, assumed the chair, before Hoyer took the reins. In her prepared remarks, Pelosi spoke in frank and unsparing terms about Trump's comments on Twitter over the weekend. "There is no place anywhere for the president's words, which are not only divisive, but dangerous, and have legitimized an increased fear and hatred of new Americans and people of color," Pelosi, D. California, said. "It's so sad because you would think that there would be a given that we would universally, in this body, just say, of course. Of course." Pelosi continued, her voice rising, "There's no excuse for any response to those words, but a swift and strong unified condemnation. Every single member of this institution, Democratic and Republican, should join us in condemning the president's racist tweets. To do anything less would be a shocking rejection of our values, and a shameful abdication of our oath of office to protect the American people. I urge a unanimous vote, and yield back the balance of my time." Collins immediately stood and asked if Pelosi wanted to rephrase that comment. "I have cleared my remarks with the parliamentarian before I read them," Pelosi claimed, before walking away to applause. "Can I ask the words be taken down? I make a point of order that the gentlewoman's words are unparliamentary and be taken down," Collins said. Nancy rounded today millions of Americans formally condemn the DNC, their corruption, their lies and their deceit. God bless President Trump. Fox News has told Collins used House Rule 17, Clause 1b. That rule requires that remarks on the floor be confined to the question under debate, avoiding personality. The chair will remind all members, please, do not make personality-based comments, Cleaver said. Conway blasts Dems' tired claims of racism, says she totally disagrees with husband's scathing op-ed. Cleaver simply declared, "I abandoned the chair," and left, a moment with no apparent precedent in modern congressional history. North Carolina Representative G.K. Butterfield, also a Democrat, assumed the chair, before Hoyer took the reins. Hoyer eventually assumed the chair upon Pelosi's request so that a Democrat leader, and not a rank-and-file member, could take control. Hoyer eventually read the parliamentarian's ruling that, based on the precedent of May 15, 1984, Pelosi's language did not meet the standard. The words used by the gentlewoman from California contained an accusation of racist behavior on the part of the president, Hoyer said, affirming the House parliamentarian's decision and technically banning Pelosi from speaking on the House floor for the rest of the day. The words should not be used in debate, Hoyer said.